everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving headfirst into something truly bizarre, something you probably never asked for but are definitely going to love. We're taking the iconic Griffin family from Quag and dropping them right into the grim, dystopian world of Half-Life 2. That's right, Peter, Lois, Chris, Meg, Brian, and the one and only Stuart Griffin are about to face the Combine. This is part one of their hilarious and completely chaotic debut in City 17. So, how does this even work? Imagine replacing Gordon Freeman and the key NPCs with our favorite dysfunctional family. Peter, of course, is our new Freeman, stumbling through the chaos with his signature brand of blissful ignorance. Lois is trying her best to keep everyone safe, probably more concerned about whether the Overwatch soldiers have wiped their feet before breaking down the door. Chris is just confused. Meg is, well, Meg, and Brian is trying to be the voice of reason, likely with a martini in hand, offering cynical commentary on their grim new reality. But the real star of this disasterpiece? It has to be Stewie. Picture this, the intense, suspenseful opening of Half-Life 2. The G-Man's cryptic speech, the oppressive atmosphere of the train station, the palpable fear in the citizens' eyes. Now, inject a megalomaniacal, evil genius baby into the mix. As Barney Calhoun is trying to give a serious briefing, you just hear a tiny, sophisticated voice pipe up, "Oh, splendid, another dreary Orwellian nightmare." I do hope they have a decent selection of juice boxes. This ambience is dreadfully dehydrating. The comedy goldmine here is the sheer juxtaposition. Half-Life 2 is a masterpiece of atmospheric storytelling, building tension and a sense of dread. Stewie Griffin is a character built on dark wit, pop culture references, and world domination plots. When you smash these two together, the result is pure, unadulterated comedic chaos. The game's serious tone becomes the perfect straight man for Stewie's over-the-top villainy and sarcastic remarks. He isn't scared of the Combine. He's annoyed by their lack of style and inefficient methods of subjugation. Let's walk through the initial train station sequence. As Peter, our new Gordon, steps off the train, he's not contemplating their loss of freedom. He's probably thinking, hehehe, this reminds me of that time I tried to ride the clown trolley at the county fair. He'd then get distracted by a piece of litter on the ground, leading to a classic cutaway gag. Meanwhile, the Combine guards are trying to direct the citizens, their distorted voices echoing through the station. Stewie, strapped to Lewis's back, would be analyzing their every move. My dear mother, do you see their tactics? Pathetically rudimentary. A single, well-placed laser would neutralize this entire squadron. When I take over this miserable planet, our shock troops will have far more panache. And capes. Definitely capes. One of the most memorable early moments is when you Ray forced to pick up a can by a guard. Peter would probably try to drink it or start a conversation with the guard about the local brewery. But imagine Stewie's reaction. He'd see it as a profound insult to his intelligence. Pick up the can? Pick it up. Does this brute not realize who he is addressing? I have orchestrated assassination plots more complex than his entire genetic code. Very well, I shall humor the simpleton for now. He'd even use his own miniature telekinesis device he just so happened to have packed to fling the can directly into the guarder's helmet with impeccable precision. The humor isn't just about what Stewie says. It's how his commentary completely shatters the game's meticulously crafted tension. As you're sneaking through claustrophobic apartment blocks, hearing the terrifying skittering of a head crab in the vents, the game wants you to be on edge. But with the Griffins, the experience is different. Brian would be philosophizing about the existential dread of their situation. Chris might be screaming at a pigeon, and Stewie would be utterly unimpressed. Oh, a cephalopodic parasite that attaches to one's cranium. How derivative. I designed something far more insidious in my nursery last Tuesday. It made you perpetually crave subpar musicals. A truly ghastly fate. And what about the other family members? Lewis's attempts at motherly diplomacy with the Overwatch soldiers would be priceless. Now, sir, I understand you have a job to do, but is it really necessary to point that pulse rifle at my son? He has a sensitive disposition. All while Chris is in the background trying to make friends with the manhacks, thinking it's a cool new drone. Wow, can it do tricks? He'll ask moments before it tries to slice his face off, only to be saved by a disgruntled Brian who trips it with his tail. Meg, of course, would just be trying to get a signal on her phone, complaining that there's no Wi-Fi in this stupid police state. The family's complete inability to grasp the severity of their situation is the engine of the comedy. Think about the chase sequence across the rooftops. In the original game, it's a heart-pounding race for survival. With the Griffins, it's a slapstick disaster. Peter would be running in his signature floppy-arm style, probably crashing through a wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah, he'd shout, completely oblivious to the gunfire. Stewie would be providing tactical, yet condescending advice from his baby carrier. Left. No, your other left, you oaf. My God, it's like directing a herd of sea cows through a minefield. Must I do everything myself? He'd then deploy a grappling hook from his diaper to swing the family to safety, complaining the entire time about the G-forces. The clash of Stewie's high-tech, evil genius persona with the gritty, makeshift technology of the Half-Life universe is another fantastic source of laughs. When he finally gets his hands on a gravity gun, he wouldn't see it as a revolutionary physics tool. He'd see it as a primitive toy. Zero-point energy field manipulator, HMPH. A rather crude application of quantum entanglement principles. My infant-sized matter reorganizer is far more elegant. Still, he'd muse, picking up a toilet and aiming it at a combine soldier. It does have a certain rustic charm. The scene would then devolve into him gleefully redecorating City 17 with flying radiators and filing cabinets, all while delivering sinister monologues. The beauty of this concept is that it writes itself. Every serious, dramatic moment in Half-Life becomes a potential punchline. The encounter with the first head crab zombie? Peter would probably ask if it's okay and offer it a beer. The speech from Wallace Breen broadcast across the city? Stewie would hack the broadcast to air an episode of Jolly Farm, critiquing the show's weak narrative structure. Brian would try to have an intellectual debate with a Vortigaunt about the nature of consciousness, only to get frustrated when it responds in cryptic verse. This first part is all about setting the stage, establishing just how hilariously out of place the Griffins are. We're watching them stumble through the opening hours of the game, completely breaking the intended experience in the best way possible. The contrast between Stewie's dark, sophisticated humor and the oppressive, violent world of Half-Life creates this unique brand of comedy that you just can't find anywhere else. His commentary doesn't just add jokes, it transforms the entire experience, turning scenes of tension and horror into laugh-out-loud scenarios. The game's darkness becomes the canvas for the Griffin's absurdity. We've only just scratched the surface of this chaotic crossover. We haven't even gotten to Ravenholm, and you can only imagine what Stewie and Peter will do there. Don't go to Ravenholm, they say. But with the Griffins, you know that as the first place Peter is going to suggest they go for a family fun day. Stay tuned for part 2, where things are guaranteed to get even weirder. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed seeing the Griffins cause chaos in City 17, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next part. Let me know in the comments what other games you'd love to see the Griffins ruin. Until next time, take care.